In this video we will see about distance formula in coordinate geometry. Distance formula in coordinate geometry. Here draw the graph. Draw the graph. In that locate the 2 points called as P and Q. This point is called as P. This point is called as Q in a graph. It represents x-axis. It represents y-axis. We have to find the distance between the 2 points in a graph called as P and Q. For that purpose, draw a line which is perpendicular to the draw a line from the P which is perpendicular to the x-axis. Similarly, draw a line from Q which is perpendicular to the x-axis. Same time, draw a line from P which is perpendicular to the y-axis, which is perpendicular to the Q and S, which is perpendicular to the Q and S. Label this point as R. Here we have drawn a line. We have drawn a line from P which is perpendicular to the x-axis. Similarly, we have drawn a line which is perpendicular. We have drawn a line from Q which is perpendicular to the x-axis. Similarly, we have drawn a line from P which is perpendicular to the QS. Okay, this is the construction of a graph to find the distance between the 2 points. This is the origin of the graph called as O. Here the coordinates of the point at P called as x1, y1. x1 is the x coordinate, y1 is the y coordinate. Similarly, at Q, coordinates are x2 comma y2. x2 is the x coordinate, y2 is the y coordinate. At point P, x coordinate is x1 and y coordinate is y1. Okay, next OR distance is corresponding to OR, this distance. Okay, from origin. Okay, this distance corresponding to the x1. Similarly, OS distance corresponding to the x2. This distance from this distance OS is corresponding to the x2. Okay, we have to find RS. Here one more labeling T. Make that triangle PQT. Okay, here we have to find distance called as RS, which is also equal to PT. From that we can write that RS is equal to PT equal to this distance minus total distance minus OR will corresponding to the RS distance. OS minus corresponding to OR equal to OS. Substitute OS value equal to x2, OR value x1. Therefore, PT distance equal to this distance. PT distance equal to x2 minus x1. Similarly, we have to find QT. This distance. This distance. We have to find the QT distance. From the graph, PR distance equal to TS. PR equal to TS. Okay, we have to find the QT. Next To find the QT, distance between QT, subtract the QS, subtract the PR from QS, then we will get the this distance QS minus PR will gives us QT. QT equal to QS minus PR. PS minus QR. PS QS minus PR. Written wrong. QT equal to QT equal to QS minus PR equal to QS minus PR. This distance QS is corresponding to the Y2. If we extend the line like this, QS is corresponding to the okay, QS is corresponding to the Y2, Y coordinate. Similarly, PR or TS is corresponding to the Y1, this distance only, Y coordinate, which is parallel to the Y axis. Okay, Y1. Next, in a triangle PQT, PQ square is equal to PT square plus QT square. We can write that PQ square is equal to PT square plus PQ square equal to this distance, hypotenuse, equal to PQ square equal to PT square plus QT square. Below I will write PQ square equal to PT square plus QT square. PT square will corresponding to the x2 minus x1. Substitute that value. In the place of PT, we will write x2 minus x1. Here square is there, for PT square is there, so we should write whole square. Similarly, substitute the QT value. QT equal to, we can write that y2 minus y1. Here QT, in the place of QT we will write y2 minus y1. Here square is there, for that we have to write whole y2 minus y1 whole square. Okay, here okay, VQ square is equal x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Next, we need only PQ. For that purpose, we have to remove the square in left hand side. To remove the square in left hand side, PQ square, we have to remove the square in left hand side. For that purpose, we have to take the square root on right hand side. Therefore, PQ is equal to under root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Okay, this is under root. This is the formula called distance formula to calculate distance between the two points in a graph. I am revising. This is a graph, x-axis, this is x-axis, this is a y-axis. Here between these 2 points P and Q, we have to find the distance. Distance between the P and Q we have to calculate. For that purpose, we have to draw a line which is perpendicular to the x-axis, then name as R. Similarly, draw a line from Q perpendicular to the x-axis, name as S. Okay, then OR is corresponding to OR this distance corresponding to x1. Similarly, OS is corresponding to x2. Next to RS, this distance we need. Okay, this distance corresponding to the x2 minus x1. RS is equal, RS is corresponding to the TS. RS is corresponding to RS. This one, RS is corresponding to the PT. Okay, for that purpose, to get the RS, we have to subtract the OR from OS. Therefore, OS minus OR will give us PT. That is corresponding to the PT or RS. Okay, OS is this distance x2, OR is x1. Therefore, PT equal to x2 minus x2 minus x1. Similarly, we have to calculate PR, this distance. PR equal to TS, from graph PR equal to TS. Next, we need to calculate QT, this distance. QT equal to this distance, whole distance, complete distance, QS minus will give QS minus QT will gives us QT value, QS minus TS, QS minus TS. Okay, therefore QT equal to QS, this complete distance, minus TS also corresponding to the PR. Okay, QS minus PR. QS is corresponding to the Y2. PR is corresponding to the Y1. Therefore, here Y2 minus Y1. Next, from Pythagoras theorem, in a triangle PQT, in a triangle PQT, PQ square is equal, hypotenuse square is equal adjacent side square plus opposite square. Okay, then similarly PQ square is equal PT square plus QT square. Here PQ square is equal, PT square is corresponding to the x2 minus x1. Here square is there in PT, whole square we have tried. Similarly, QT is equal y2 minus y1. Here QT square is there, whole square. Okay. Next, to remove the square in this formula left hand side, we have to write the root, square root in right hand side. Then we will get the PQ is equal x2 minus under root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Okay, this is the formula used to calculate the distance between the 2 points in a graph. Please subscribe my video, add a comment, positive comment on my video.